don't know what you did to create this song, but oh my God, this song right here, they gonna love it.
Sorry and be Mary J. Blige. Mike Larry, thank you. We open doors that they walking through, built the house and shared the view. Somewhere along the line, they forgot who set the table. We gave the blueprint, now they changing the label. You can copy the rhythm, but not the pain. You could sing the note, but not the chain. We cried in the fire, but came out gold. Still holding the story our elders told. We showed the world how to stand tall, and we ain't falling for the same games at all. This time we know what we're facing. We reclaiming our foundation. This is delineation, a separation born of revelation. We drew the line to keep our power sacred. We are the soul, can't fake it, can't take it. This is delineation, yeah. We hold the root, they chase the vibration. We ain't hating, we preserving the truth. That's delineation. Too long we fed the world and went hungry. Shared our plate, but they called us ugly. Now we see the mask and the smiles face low. Can't build the future if they don't wanna know. We stood in the storm, they danced in the calm. Took our rhythm, tried to steal our song. But the melody lives where the struggle been. You can't touch soul if you ain't live within. We love the people. Every queen and king gotta can't fight for freedom, then hide from the fight. If you eat at the table, you better bring life. Oh, through the nation, we ain't breaking, we awakening. We ain't breaking, we awakening. That line divine, we claim again instead. Not division, it's preservation. The truth, can't still control. This is delineation. A love that's proud and a pain that's patient. We ain't hating, we're cultivating the rules. That's delineation. Mike Larry, they need to take their asses home, right? Yeah. You love the rhythm, but you don't love the roots. You wear the style, but not the truth. Let's talk about it. Yeah. Oh, da, da, da. Yeah. We built this bitch, I'm tired of y'all shit. Yeah. Your homeland, you abandoned it. Now you in our shit, you irrelevant. Our civil rights is your heaven sent. We open the doors so you could walk through. Now feeling we ain't doing what we supposed to do. You dirty tether, I expose you for your lies. If you were home, it'll be push me with some flies. You love to shine, but not to fight. Take the fruit, forget the light. We open doors that weren't open before. Now you act like you own the floor. So shameful, so ungrateful. No thank you, we not the same. Boo, we bled for rights you living on. We was fine before y'all came along. If you don't like us, why are you here? If you say we got no culture, why you cheer? Your love didn't last long. If we are gotta take you ass home, take your asses home, your asses home. Take your asses home, your asses home. Please, all I got is play a copy of flavor, not play. love the slang, but not the source. You ride the wave, but not the course. We gave the world a brand new sound, but they love to bite when we're not around. Every freedom that you taste was paid by hands that work, by hearts that prayed. We live the world, but still get blamed, and they wonder why we guard our name. This ain't hate, this revelation, too much tether shit, they forever hate it, this a paradigm shift, you will never forget, put some respect on name, but nevertheless, if you don't like us, why are you here? If you say we got no culture, why you cheat? Your love didn't last long, if we are gotta take your ass home, take your asses home, take your asses home, asses home. Please, y'all are cars, play a copy of flavor now, player. Take your asses home. Oh, 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 take your asses home. Oh, oh, oh. We ain't hating, we reclaiming. This loving or not gaming. If you don't vibe with the tone, then baby, take your behind home. They say motherland and point across the sea, but I point to the ground that swallowed our blood and still grew our family tree.
Mike Larry, this gonna be epic. They ask me how you don't claim Africa. I say explain to me. Our mother sell her children and the man they call her home. Faithfully. And even then the story complicated. True got layers in the sand. But some of us been on these shows before 14 9 to understand. So when you say go back, I laugh back. Well, I'm already in. My ancestors built the place before it had a flag and never live in. We fought and died and paid these roads with muscle, grit, and prayer. So don't confuse my roots with travel. This my soil like that.
What did you do for us?
Yeah, tell me straight.
What did you do for us?
We been holding weight.
You say you gave us culture, but we can't tell. So I'ma ask it one more time slow. What did you do for us? What did you do for us?
He said we brought you culture. I say culture ain't a gift you had. Cause you talk like us, walk like us, dance like us, same slang on demand. You say you not like us until it's time to bark and hold the pain. Then you quote our civil rights leaders, talk points to build your own land. Then I hear that back with logic. We sacrifice our people for you. Like trafficking is something righteous people do. That don't even sound like love, that sound like profit, trust, and pride on. That sound like guilt to me, trying to look justified. And when we ask you what you did, it's silence, no receipts, no proof. But I can name 100 ways we open doors for you. We fought for rights in the middle of being burned, lynched, and chased. Still made room at the table, even when we barely ate on daily. And that's the part that hit my spirit. You could benefit and still be distant. You can eat and still be arrogant. Y'all niggas copy and still be dismissive. Like,
what did you do for us? I wanna know. What did you do for us? I wanna know. You said we got no culture, but you is a carbon copy. So I'ma ask you one more time, like, what did you do for us? What did you do for us?
And let's talk Jim Crow, who Who still where? Who said where? Who got served? I heard the groups with papers saying the Negro problem ain't ours. I heard folk claim they drink from white fountains, ate in white rooms. They say black and brown, but we the ones that paid our dues. So I'm asking plain, where was the solidarity then? If you were in the struggle, don't rewrite it like again. And I accusing everybody, I'm questioning the record, cause history got accomplices that never get inspected.
Who been fighting? We have. Who been building? We have. Who been copying? Been great. We have.
We are the culture, not borrowing, not begging, not pretending. Most love, most hated, most sin, but still here. Let's go. They call us complaining when we name what we up against, but we just understand the game and we speak it with intelligence. And we know the enemy told everybody, watch the fine print, call we use you like a tool and act like you don't exist. They don't love us, they only love what they can gain. And when the season change, they drop you in that grand new again. We try to warn you, don't confuse a ladder with respect. Don't let temporary access make you think you next. But jealousy make them flip, make them mock the very root. Thinking mad, but we protect it like it's sacred, cause it's true. Oh.
What did you do for us? What did you do for us?
Where the facts?
We the first one to look and us redempting on the line. Most copied on the planet, still the back on other pounds. So don't call that a treasure when you living in our sound. What did you do for us?
While we held up.
Sorry, I had to come off mute. Welcome to the Revolutionary Agenda. I'm your host, Seduction Doll, aka Lady Che, or the Black Villain. Sorry, I'm coming on kind of early, Grand Rising. It took me a minute. I was supposed to go on it like maybe 2 hours ago. It took me a minute to find some shit to show and talk about. Hasn't been already drugged and talked about. However, I lost my cue. Then I had to look for the music. And I lost that too. Just fucking around with this stupid ass laptop. Laptops are just not for me. I have a desktop at home. I thought I'd get in and squeeze in maybe an hour or two. So we're gonna breeze by kind of fast. Nothing interesting has happened with me. I've been kicking it mostly at Jesse's house. As Jesse goes back and forth to my house, helping me with some vital things that needed help with. So I've been here, and I've been, if I take my medicine to sleep, it knocks me out like for 13, 14 hours. So I miss 2 whole good portions of a day. So I decided to stay awake, and because Jesse got this thing to do, I kind of want to talk about it, but I don't want to. That I think I'm just going to insert myself anyway. Fuck it. Just because. I don't like anybody ganging up and telling lies and gaslighting. So, that's kind of the situation. I feel like some lies and gaslighting is going to be told. And I'm not going to have it. So, I just got to assert myself. What else? That's all pretty much is that I'm in here. Don't worry about the numbers. I'm streaming here to say nobody's watching, but I always know somebody is. So we're going to go kind of move through really fast. Like I said, nothing's really happened. If anything, y'all know I've been watching Frontline Black News, and I've been in the cut, in the back. So I've been here. We're just going to try to breeze through as much as we can. Not really dealing with no Puerto Rican trolls today, just because I don't want to, so I'm not in the mood. I'm in the mood to get some vital things out there, some different perspectives or whatever, just some shit I found on the internet that I thought was quite interesting. And I'm going to talk about our city too, to put a couple of things in there that I'm really kind of disappointed in the black people here we have in our city. So we're going to get to that. I'm going to breeze through, so just stick with me. And let's see what we can, how far we can get through. Trust and believe. I'm not gonna do any crazy amounts of time. Like I said, I done lost my cube like 4 times already, so I'm not trying to rebuild it. And sorry for coming off camera, not being on camera. Thing is that I woke up and like when I shower, I'm about to get dressed, so I'm still in my PJs. from when Jesse woke me up when he got back yesterday. So still in my PJs. And I got, things I got to do this afternoon. So that, and my hair is messy. I don't feel like putting on any kind of light little cover up or makeup or anything like that. So I decided just to go off camera. It ain't really changed. That's my face. And I'm still light as hell. Considering all that shit that happened the last time I was on, when that dude came up here, I was like, the room was dim. And I was like kind of in some light. How bright was I fucking shining, y'all? For him to be like, use a white woman. What? You say it like that. You did say that though. How bright was I shining? That is the question. That shit was fucking stupid. All right, let's move forward. Enough playing around. Let's get to it. Now we're gonna talk about these protests. Yeah, basically. I've been giving them that work. As you saw at City Council. Hey, they even wrote an article about me, y'all. They wrote, it's usually about Jesse too. And they called me a racist. An article. I was like, I can't wait to get my computer up and running so I can write my own little articles.
Shoot me! Go ahead!
You gotta really wonder what he's doing there. That's majorly off code.
Shoot me! Shoot me! Shoot me! You wanna shoot me? You wanna shoot me? Shoot me! Go ahead! Shoot me! Shoot me! Pepper spray me! Hurt me! Shame on you! On your grandma!
These people clearly haven't leered enough. Honestly, instead of simply laughing at these people, I think it's quite a teachable moment. Personally, I think we can all lear a pretty good lesson from Alex and Renee. I will not let their deaths be in vain, because as of right now, they literally died for nothing. Literally for nothing. You was acting a plumb fool, and it cost you the ultimate consequence. And as a black man, I cannot feel bad for you. You're physically interfering with law enforcement. You see this lady out here?
Shoot me!
Begging for some bullets? They didn't give her none. She ain't touching nobody. But speaking of begging for bullets, what type of deranged person do you have to be to beg for bullets? This is pretty much y'all's party right now.
Yeah! Hit and run! Hit and run! That's a hit and run! Hit and run! Hit and run! That's a hit and run! Hit and run! Hit and run! Yeah. Look, hey, watch out with that weapon! That weapon! Yo, watch out! What's wrong with you? You hit it! You hit her! Yo! What's wrong?
You hit her!
You hit her! You guys hit her! You guys hit her! What's wrong with y'all? Y'all hit her? Y'all bust a whole U-turn in the middle of the street! Y'all hit her! Y'all on camera! Leave her alone! She ain't even do shit! She trying to go to work! She's trying to go to work! Oh, what? Y'all some crazy. Y'all got no heart, for real. No heart. No heart. Crazy. She's a female. She's a female. You guys hit her. How you guys gonna arrest her? You guys hit her. Man, how y'all gonna arrest her, man?
All right. Look, I watched the first part of that video several times, trying to figure out from my POV, did he hit her or did she hit them? People in the video said he busted a whole U-turn and then she hit her. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know who caused the accident. That's not the lesson we need to learn from this. The pretty good lesson that we can learn from this is that when law enforcement tells you to get out of the car, you simply get out. What the hell are we even talking about? It doesn't matter who hit who. At the scene of the situation, law enforcement is always right. When law enforcement is wrong, take them to court. Especially if you're a citizen and they ICE, just go to court. You got several people recording you being a dummy. This is where you messed up right here. You clearly haven't leered enough from Alex and Renee. ICE is on edge right now. They're under attack. Do you not understand? Imagine how apprehensive you would be at your job if you're literally under attack all the time. And we ain't talking about protesting. Protesting is fine. Do your thing. You're allowed to voice your displeasure, even though most of the country voted for this. All right? You're allowed to protest. You're allowed to assemble. You're allowed to holler at them. You're even allowed to have your little whistles out doing your thing. You're allowed to blow your horns. You're allowed to do everything but physically stop them. More importantly, I don't care if it's a police officer, a damn security guard with a gun, a sheriff, border patrol, ICE, FBI, CIA, U.S. Marshal, anybody with a badge who points a gun at you and tells you to get out of your car, just get out! What are you fighting about? It's 12! Christ almighty. Then you look at the video, she's struggling mightily. Why are you guys doing all this to her? Look at her kicking her feet. Are y'all stupid? I swear, modern day liberals are the dumbest breed of people. Their emotions override what they see with their eyes, what they hear with their ears. You're literally recording this girl being a dumbass in 4K, and none of you grown-ass people in Chicago, wherever the hell y'all were at, none of you grown-ass people told that girl, hey, stop struggling. We're recording. We got you. None of you, because you're beyond stupid. Beyond stupid is what you are. At this point, it is officially natural selection. I'm not abdicating for anything except you making better decisions. Let's say a police officer busted a U-turn, hit your car, and they get out on bullshit. All four guns, everybody guns drawn, everything. Are you gonna act like you want this to be your last day on earth? No, I'm not getting out of the car. You guys were wrong. Who gives a shit? How about you live? They get out the car on bullshit because they know they was wrong. Get out the car. All right, what y'all want to do? Because y'all hit me. That's how you handle that. You get out the car. They have guns on you. You want to be correct more than you want to live. That's what it is. Y'all want to be correct more than you want to live. This is not the time period where there was emancipating slaves. This is not the time period when we was fighting for civil rights. You idiots don't understand. Biden and them let in like 20 million people just come through. And they've been committing heinous crimes all across the country. None of you people were outside protesting for any of these victims. But you want to protest for... Who cares? Do your thing. That ain't my business. But y'all gonna keep losing. You all need to learn a pretty good lesson from Renee and Alex. Protest all you like. You can do it every day. But if you physically impede them, they will make an example out of you. Because what are you doing? Y'all don't do this with any other law enforcement agency holding guns. You act like you really just want... This is what you want.
Shoot me!
All y'all like Granny. You're all ready to be martyrs. For what? I met boxes of rocks is smarter than y'all, boy.
I'm in the gas. Get back. Gas is coming. Second warning. You got warning. Third warning. Gas on. Hey. Gas. You just get back. Get here.
He's not wrong. How many warnings did he give you? And it's just gas to make you disperse. It's not toxic. It's not deadly. They're being very nice to you people because this is America. You have rights, but you don't have the right to physically impede them. You don't have those rights. And shame on all of you Democratic leaders who are encouraging this. And you know how we say y'all are the party of liars, cheaters, fraud, because y'all are caught lying, cheating, and committing fraud in 4K.
Smoke grenades that initially came out. I know the smell of smoke. Not sure what just happened there. smoke grenades that initially came out. I know the smell of smoke. Not sure what just happened there.
I'm not even surprised. This is what liberals do.
That person
Lie their ass off. They're a bunch of whiny babies who don't want to live in the real world. So they lie when they can't get their way.
Served on the China Commission in Congress, ironically enough, as co-chair with Marco Rubio. We used to bring in Chinese political prisoners, and we would ask them, when we speak up and call out your government, is it bad? And they said, well, in the short run it's bad because they torture us. But if you don't speak up, they will torture us and forget about us. And the idea is right now is we have to be speaking up. We have to call it out.
Don't you?
I don't know about all
James, welcome. You were in the thick of all this over the weekend. Tell us about your experience.
Hey, Megan. Yeah, I was actually in Minnesota for a different reason on Friday and Saturday morning, and I was in undercover journalism, doing some undercover journalism, and I was there when the shots were fired. Just absolute coincidence. So I walked over to the location in what appeared to be like the suburbs of Minnesota, a relatively nice neighborhood. People need to understand that what's so shocking to me is that this is not like a bad neighborhood. This is just a suburban place. And this is before the autonomous zone was formed. I don't know, about 11, 12 a.m. I was walking. We parked our vehicle, got out of our vehicle. We did have undercover people in the mob. But what was striking to me is right when I parked my vehicle, as soon as I got out, it's negative 12 degrees. So every part of your skin is completely covered. They can't identify you. Immediately, 5 women who are white began interrogating me and asking me who I am and what my identity is. I've never experienced anything quite like this. I actually told them I was press, and they proceed. It was almost like they were going to do a citizen's arrest on me unless I identified myself, showed them my ID. So I told them, I'm
James, forgive me.
Yeah.
You guys have given us a couple of videos exclusive to you. People can check them out at your website. So we'll play a couple of them as you tell the story. And there is one of the moment I think you're referring to where they're demanding you show your press badge in SOT 9A. Here it is.
Yeah, I want to see your work on the fucking phone.
I'm going to show you this press badge right here.
Hand it to
Here's my
us.
press badge.
If it's real, just hand it to her. Yeah, no,
No,
it's right here. No, give it back.
these guys are not press. I looked up OK Media. It's from Portugal. They're not from Portugal. And none of their work is political at
Yeah, they're
all.
idiots.
Okay, we're not.
So
Keep going, James.
So we'll tell the story about a sequence. But what happened there is they started.
Ellie, see what I'm talking about? White women antagonizing the shit. See what I'm talking about? And it's his people.
Yelling shame, shame, shame. And they I mean, again, this is not yet even an autonomous zone. I'm somewhere a mile away from the shooting. They followed us to our car. They started throwing things at us. Now remember, negative 12 degrees, a bottle of water will freeze in like 20, 30 seconds. And it's a weapon. And they started throwing objects at me and my security guard. In fact, they actually patted my security guard down. They are the authority. I've never experienced anything like this. I mean, if you have a gun, what are you gonna do? Fire it at them?
White women, right? Antagonizing situations, got the audacity to pat down press. They clearly are wearing press body armor. Right? I wouldn't have answered shit these white women were asking me. I'd have told them to move out the way, Karen, Becky, Beth. Move out the way. Fucking in the way of fucking journalism. Fucking old stupid face. Jesus Christ. See, I went wrong though.
I mean, that's not going to work. So they confiscated the weapon off of my Marine security detail, followed us to our.
Wait, a gun?
Well, he left his gun in the car, but he had like a knife or something on him, and they confiscated. They patted him down, like they're the police. Now the police in Minnesota have left. The police have left this area completely. So you're completely on your own, and I'm shaken, Megan. You had me on to talk about my film Line in the Sand. I've ambushed the cartel. They run away from me. They don't like the cameras. These people will kill you. I've never quite experienced, like, I guess I would call it communism up close. Like, I've never experienced anything like this. So we go to their car and they start throwing projectiles at us, rocks, ice bottles, what appeared to be a knife. Well, I'm still going through all the footage. I'm wearing a bulletproof vest. You saw it in the video. This is terrifying. and we have a couple clips we've given you, but I've never. I'm honestly a little bit shaken. I wouldn't say I'm scared, but I'm shaken. And I guess we'll unpack all this. But what struck me is how organized these people are. Every car.
Hold the thought on the organization, because I do want to get into that. Let me show the audience a little bit of what you were subjected to. Let's hear SOT 10A and 10B together. The crowd's following James. Now you can see the projectile hit James in the back. Somebody's getting in the car.
They're everywhere. Shut the fucking doors. Shut the doors. Shut the fucking doors. Whoa. We're fucking pressed. We're pressed. You know what the First Amendment is? Yes or no?
They threw a frozen
Ice
brick at the car.
Take off your vest again quickly.
Yeah, it's pretty terrifying, and the reason why is because there's no one there.
We always said white women were scary.
There to help. Like, there's no police. The police have stood down. I mean, you tell them they're pressed. We have more footage. They'll kill you. They don't care. Anybody who's not them is their enemy. If you are a journalist, you're a Fed. And I was trying to reason with them, Megan. I was trying to talk to them rationally. Like, I'm not here. I'm not taking a position for or against ICE. I'm a reporter. They said they'll kill me. So that was kind of perhaps a glimpse into the future, I suppose, of what we're up against. There's more to the story here. I can tell you what happened next. We try to go back to our hotel, Megan. We're staying downtown. And the person at the hotel signals to one of them. And we then realize that we're in danger. We have to leave our hotel. So we go to a second hotel. And we've got someone.
What? What do you mean he signaled? He told them that you were staying there?
Yeah. These people have spotters everywhere. They have spotters in every street corner. They have people working at the hotels. They somehow got our license plate, rental car. My driver got a text message, a death threat from a burner number on his phone, which
you posted it.
I did post that, the death threat, yes.
It reads, "We know you're in Minneapolis. You're with O'Keefe and his crew of Nazis. You're in a white Ford license plate," and then you blocked it out, "from Florida. You have 1 hour to leave or you're dead." That was to your driver?
Yeah, that was not to my cell phone. That was to the driver of the vehicle who rented the car. We don't know. I've had the FBI reach out to me. I've had the Attorney General of the United States actually DM'd me. Bondi DM'd me this morning. And we're trying to figure out if we can trace it. But that was not to my cell phone. That was to the driver of the car, which I speculate they ran the tags and found out who rented the vehicle. And they followed us to the hotel. And usually I wrote in my tweet or my post that usually I'm able to lose a tail. Like, they give up. You just drive down the freeway. We go to a second hotel in a town called Wayzata, Minnesota, which is kind of a rich suburban town on the lake where they do ice fishing. And a guy walks in, black block, looks like Antifa. He just stares at me as I'm checking into the hotel. And then I realize I can't actually lose these people. I have to leave the state of Minnesota. Do we drive to Chicago? What are we going to do? And my team was honestly pretty scared. And that's when I went to the parking garage and posted a video of me reading the death threat as we then proceed to go to our third location and try to just extract my team out of there because they feel like their lives are in danger.
Yeah, and that your security team gets to the point where they realize they cannot keep you safe.
Correct.
And it's not just you. It's not just you, James. There was an extraordinary piece of tape out of Minneapolis. This is posted on the New York Post, but we found it on X originally, where anti-ICE protesters violently swarmed a Minneapolis hotel. They're big on swarming the hotels where they think press like you or ICE or Border Patrol are staying. They believe federal officers were staying there. They began hurling items, quoting here from the New York Post, at people inside, smashing in windows, graffitiing FUCK ICE across the building's facade on Sunday. The large mob descended on the Home 2 Suites by Hilton Hotel last Sunday. They shoved and hurled objects at a Minneapolis police department officer and others just inside the hotel's lobby and attempted to push their way in. We're showing some video of it now, forcing those inside to use 2 large vending machines to physically block the rowdy demonstrators. We're all locals. It's all locals, one man shouted as he tried to ward off the protesters. And then we see this piece of tape with a federal agent who's been guarding the hotel come out and not scream, but like yell with the people standing there. Where is the local PD? Let's listen to it. SOT 12.
Is everyone press?
We're overnight. We're all members of the press. We're all press here. Okay. This officer appears to be bleeding from the mouth. Oh my God. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
He's all right. He's all right.
Where's the local PD? That's my question for the press.
Okay. This officer.
Where is the local PD?
What's your message to the local PD, sir?
No.
Okay. Well, the mayor. Very chaotic.
Sir, while you're giving messages, what would your message to the protesters that want you out be? As long as you're getting comment.
This guy is bloodied from the nose and the mouth, James, and asking, basically, where the hell's the backup? This is a federal agent.
Yeah, I mean, there's no incentive. The incentives are not aligned. You can't hold them accountable. You can't defend yourself. You can't shoot back. You can't fight back. You can use mace or something or spray, but if you did that as you're being attacked, they'll use force against you. They'll kill you. And so the numbers
are just too great.
The only thing that we could do, and I was, I'm not a very fearful person, but I recognize when I'm in danger, there's a difference between fear and danger. The only thing you can do is just walk away and not engage them. That's what I had to do in that moment as they're throwing projectiles. Just walk, don't pass go, do not collect $200, not look back at them, actually, and just get the hell out of there.
A new year means new financial goals, like making sure your savings are secure and diversified. Will this be the year you decide to talk to someone from Birch Gold Group? They use an educational approach with a deep understanding of macroeconomics. There are forces pushing the dollar lower and gold higher, which is why they believe every American should own physical gold. So until January 30th,
the blame game inside the Trump administration, while the president says things in Minneapolis are going to, quote, de-escalate a bit, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and Stephen Miller, the president's powerful advisor, are taking heat over the deadly shooting of Alex Pretty and their statements after it. Miller described Pretty as a would-be assassin. Noem described him as a domestic terrorist. The videos clearly refuted those claims, and now Noem is facing growing bipartisan calls to resign, and Miller, in a rare retreat, is acknowledging agents may have breached protocol that he set or the White House set before the shooting. With us now, CNN's Betsy Klein and Jeff Zeleny. And first, I just want to hold up a flow chart, friend, of my understanding of the blame game here. There you can see, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is blaming Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller seems to be blaming Customs and Border Protection. Betsy, you're at the White House. Do I have that flow chart correct?
I think that's about an accurate assessment, John. And I just want to point to you to this very remarkable statement to our colleague Kristen Holmes from Stephen Miller yesterday. As you said, in the immediate aftermath of federal agents' killing of Alex Pretty on Saturday, we heard Stephen Miller go to social media almost immediately. He referred to Pretty as, quote, a domestic terrorist, also a would-be assassin. And you can believe that he was behind a lot of the messaging that was coming from this White House. But then yet last night, in this statement to our colleague Kristen Holmes, he says, quote, the White House had provided clear guidance to DHS that the extra personnel that had been sent to Minnesota for force protection should be used for conducting fugitive operations to create a physical barrier between the arrest teams and the disruptors. He goes on to say, we are evaluating why the CBP team may not have been following that protocol. He also says that some of the original statements that were coming from the Department of Homeland Security were, quote, based on reports from CBP on the ground. So clearly shifting blame there and notably not disputing that he was involved in those statements.
But not apologizing for them either, correct, Betsy?
Absolutely right.
Right.
Okay, and that's important because he said those things. He's blaming now CBP for giving him the information that led to those statements, but he is not apologizing. Jeff, bigger picture here, when you take a step back, this is very unusual from this Trump administration, or any Trump administration for that matter. They have really conducted now about 3 retreats in the last week, by my count. First on Greenland, first the idea, no military action, definitely going to own it. Now, maybe not so much. The president had to backtrack on saying NATO troops weren't on the front lines in Afghanistan, and now clearly backing off a little bit in Minneapolis. That's a lot different than we've seen before from this administration, Jeff.
John, it absolutely is. It's not only unusual, it just hasn't happened, particularly on immigration. Look, this was intended to be a strength for President Trump. It always has been. It's one of the things that helped get him elected in the first place back in 2016 and certainly reelected in 2024. Now immigration is viewed by Republicans as a weakness for this administration. That explains the flow chart that you were pointing out earlier. Stephen Miller isn't doing this simply because he's suddenly had a change of heart. He's doing this because even a few Republicans, a small but growing number of Republicans, are beginning to confront and challenge and question this administration. It is all coming, of course, as the very admission in Minnesota is being reviewed. And it's a funding review from ICE, of course. It could lead to a government shutdown at the end of the week. We shall see. But Stephen Miller knows the president is unhappy about this. That's why he is sort of backpedaling here. But the bigger picture, it's not just optics here. Is policy actually going to change? And that is very much unclear. One huge difference from this administration versus the first Trump administration, he's very reluctant to fire anyone. In the first administration, people were being fired all the time, week by week. That has not happened. So I do not expect any firings here, but this is a dramatic change of a position here. And keep your eye on Stephen Miller. He's viewed as a liability in some circles here. He's very close to the president.
It's being pointed over the Trump administration's false claim that Alex Preddy, the man fatally shot in Minneapolis, was out to massacre federal agents, an accusation just not supported by the video we've all seen. Multiple sources suggested to Axios that the language came from the president's hardline advisor, Stephen Miller, with one source saying, quote, Miller gun and knew what the narrative would be. Preddy came to massacre cops. Miller, for his part, said, quote, any early comments made were based on information sent to the White House through Customs and Border Protection. With us now is Mark Caputo, the senior politics reporter for Axios, who really broke this story yesterday. Mark, as always, I'm really excited to talk to you since you were out so far in front of this story. I put together a little flow chart based on your reporting here of who is being blamed and how inside the White House and inside the administration. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is blaming Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller appears to be blaming Customs and Border Protection. Do I have that correct?
I mean, generally, what I do know is that Noem is feeling the heat, obviously on Capitol Hill and elsewhere. And she's told people, and I'm told she also told the president, look, everything I've said is because of what I've been told to say and do by the president and Stephen Miller. And as you pointed out, Miller is saying that statement that was released, it came because of on-the-ground reports from CBP. And specifically what you're hearing more people in the White House start to say is the bad guy in all of this, and I'm putting bad guy in air quotes, is Greg Bovino, who was the commander, the cowboy, in the words of one person, who was in charge of this, let's call it a shambolic operation that resulted in the deaths of 2 people and the shooting of a total of 3 in a month.
Yeah, there are 2 separate things I think we should point out here that Miller now seems to be saying to you and others. Number one, that CBP, that the officers on the ground broke some kind of protocol, some kind of instructions they'd been given by the White House about how they were supposed to behave, actually enforce the law. But also Miller is saying that he was told perhaps misleading stuff by CBP. Those are 2.
They got to blame it on somebody. They got to blame it on somebody.
Today, there's a report of an ICE officer getting his finger bit off, and then unfortunately, a deranged individual that came in to cause max damage with a loaded pistol with an extra mag that was completely loaded was shot and killed. How much more does this got to go on before the Democrat leaders there take responsibility for their words?
Hey, NRA, what's that about? What's that about? Being a gun owner? That's crazy. That's crazy. I can't imagine him showing up to one of the, you see all these loaded magazines? You see, I should have zoomed. Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and this is Racist of the Week, where we explore the stupidity and hypocrisy of discrimination in hopes we could build a more perfect union. And also laugh. As usual, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Racism. And of course, if you have any nominees, you can drop them in the comments. You can email me at admin@reesewaters.com. Today's nominee, the NRA. Hey, why you got your shoes off? I said the NRA. National Ringtone Advocates. Why it's always about feet with y'all? No, the National Rifle Association. And you know what? I got something y'all should see.
It's like Call of Duty. So cool, huh?
It's like Call of Duty. Pretty cool, huh? Because it's a game to them. Here in Nashville in 2024, we had 8 Nazi marches come through town. March right by my apartment in one of them. Last year, there were none because all of these are working, guess where? Neo, KKK, the Proud Boys. This is where they all are, treating this like it's a game. Like it's a game.
And if you dispute her assertions, feel free to look at the recruiting documents and all of the literature that's been pushed out by DHS to recruit for ICE. What's that? It was the military, it was the gun range and NASCAR. That's where we're getting our patriots. It's like Call of Duty. That's the level of discretion we're talking about right here. And it stands to reason why they're coming for Kristi Noem's head, because they might mistake her for a muskrat or something. But I can get why she rocked with them, because that's the same mentality she takes towards her ranch at home. It's like Call of Duty. So, NRA, in a scenario where you have a force with wide sweeping powers that's pushing forward with a low bar to entry, that's saying things like it's like Call of Duty, naturally the Second Amendment would be something that you would want to advocate for at a time like this. Now, wouldn't it? It looks like the right-wing narrative is now that ICE is allowed to kill American citizens if they legally own a firearm. From the president, this is the gunman's gun loaded with 2 additional full magazines and ready to go. What is all that about? Where are the local police? Why weren't they allowed to protect ICE officers? Yada, 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 Ilhan Omar, fraud, and illegal aliens. I think he said something about the size of his rallies in there too, and they're eating cats and dogs. And we heard similar rhetoric from Kristi Noem. That's right. She's so full of vice, we had to hear it twice.
An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently.
NRA, what was it? Huh? You like me watching the NFL playoffs, waiting for Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, or Josh Allen to step in? Like, is this really what we're gonna do for the Super Bowl? This is it? Wow, NRA. And because this is MAGA and there's always a video, here is Kristi Noem supporting the Second Amendment. You know, when all of the money exchanging hands was working properly.
Because I wanted to talk about how the Constitution guarantees us the individual's right to keep and bear arms. And that's why I strongly support the Second Amendment. This right isn't abstract to me. It's part of my family's heritage and it's my state's culture. I'm a gun owner, a member of the Congressional Sportsmen's Caucus. I'll continue to fight and defend this right for the people of South Dakota and for our way of life. You know, the Second Amendment has been described in many different ways over the years, but some of those are such as it is there to support our natural rights of self-defense. It's there for resistance of oppression. It even was described as a civic duty to act in concert in the defense of the state. These are all reasons that we need to make sure that we're continuously talking about the benefits of this right, what it means to mothers and fathers who are protecting their families, and what it means to us growing up in a country where people sacrificed, bled, and died to protect the rights that we have.
And you know what? Because it's just so much fun to dunk on Kristi Noem's head. Another one.
Why do the liberals and Joe Biden want our guns? Because it will make it easier for them to infringe on all of our other rights.
She called all y'all cowards. She called all y'all cowards. Let me get this straight. She took y'all support, sat there and said all them words. And now she's head of an agency pushing into people's homes with no warrant. And when somebody ends up dead, blaming them for being a gun owner. She called all y'all out like a straight duel. And we're not doing the slapping with the gloves neither. No, this at high noon. And because it's so much fun just to showcase MAGA's just blatant hypocrisy. Mark Wayne, you want to come on down? I know, I love the two names. I do.
About it. Today, there's a report of an ICE officer getting his finger bit off. And then, unfortunately, a deranged individual that came in to cause max damage with a loaded pistol with an extra mag that was completely loaded, was shot and killed. How much more does this got to go on before the Democrat leaders there take responsibility for their words?
Hey, NRA, what's that about? What's that about? Being a gun owner? That's crazy. That's great. I can't imagine him showing up to one of you see all these loaded magazines? You see, I should have zoomed. I knew better to come down here. Hey, Mark Wayne, is that the energy you had for this? Was that your energy? It's a lot more where that came from. Now, what was that Kristi Noem said? You know what? Let's sprinkle a couple of raisins in the potato salad to make the work even nastier. Then comes the letter that Pam Bondi sent about voter registration information. Oh, so apparently this isn't about law and order and immigration after all. What was that y'all said about rights? Two plausible but equally alarming explanations for demanding voter records. They intend to tamper with the 26 midterms, and this is a tool, or they want a list of Kamala Harris voters for intimidation purposes.
The Attorney General of the United States yesterday sent a letter to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz that was breathtaking. And I'm going to read part of what she wrote. Some of the demands that she has for the governor: share all of Minnesota's records on Medicaid and food and nutrition service programs, including the Supplemental Nutrition Assistant Program data, with the federal government. Allowing the federal government to efficiently investigate fraud will save Minnesota taxpayers money. Goes on to say, allow the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice to access voter rolls to confirm that Minnesota's voter registration practices comply with federal law as authorized by the Civil Rights Act of 1960. That, to me, is among many things in this letter very significant, because the president has said on multiple occasions that he believes he won Minnesota in all three elections that he ran in, even though that is not the case.
Jonathan, it's absolutely outrageous. One of the things the federal government is supposed to do is to show deference to separate sovereigns, that is state governments, a respect for their role, a respect for the federal government role, and from time to time requests to work together. But what this strikes me as is the same kind of extortionate language we've seen from President Trump when he sent letters to law firms and universities and even the media demanding that they comply with his demands. What he does and what this seems to be doing is, we are going to inflict pain on you. And until you agree to our demands, we're going to keep the pain there. But there's a way out for you. We could do this the hard way or the easy way. And the easy way would be for you just to give us what we are demanding and that which we are otherwise not entitled to. This is an abuse of federal power, and it seems that this threat of violence, of keeping dangerous agents on the streets where people will be killed because of poor training or the show of force, And it's going to continue unless and until you, Minnesota, comply with our demands.
Oh, yeah, they just went and threw a cold bucket of orange bronzer on anybody that was trying to legitimize Alex Pretty's death right there. Or this mission from ICE in Minnesota in general. They just went into orange bronzer. I didn't know it came in orange neither. Not till 2016. I had no idea. So that is where we're at. And meanwhile, where are my 2A warriors at?
Yeah, fucking political. That was murder. An ICU nurse who worked at the VA, who was legally carrying a firearm that was holstered while he was filming, who is now being painted as a domestic terrorist because he took a gun to a protest. But all these 2A a couple years back were screaming Kyle Rittenhouse's name from the rooftops. Oh, well, that was different. Yeah, you're right. He had a rifle strapped to his chest. The man who was shot and murdered by ICE was concealed carrying a firearm that he was legally allowed to have. I am now seeing reports that it's even possible that they disarmed him by taking his weapon out of his holster that was at his 6 o'clock, and then they mag dumped the guy. So if you are legally carrying a firearm and they take that off of your person and then utilize that as a justification to put rounds in your back while you were laying face down on the pavement, then it was never about following the law. The Second Amendment doesn't matter anymore. In your So where's all the don't tread on me, two-way, gun-toting, boot-licking tards? Or is it just when it's not on your side? So I'm done playing the middle ground. I'm done making first aid videos that just might help, that can be seen by both sides. Trump, ICE, we are not mad enough.
Now, mind you, it's not like I'm asking y'all to come out in defense of Keith Porter or anything like that. We know what it is when it comes to us and guns. That's really the only time you've ever supported regulations is when we showed up to the gun range. Keith Porter. Keith. Of course you ain't heard of him.
Last week, a man named Keith Porter was killed by an off-duty ICE agent, but you probably haven't heard his name. And while part of that may be because of the ICE agent being off-duty rather than on-duty with a large crowd, we also know the biggest reason why this exists. Keith Porter is a Black man, and Black men, Black women that get killed by agents, officers, don't get the same amount of national attention. Many people online have been very angry at me and other Black people for saying not to use the phrase "say her name" when it comes to Renee Good, and this is part of the reason. It has taken 7 days for the average person, and not even the average person, but for people online to find out about Keith Porter, while most people across the country know who Renee Good is within 24 hours. Within 24 hours, people have started marching for her. They have been sharing the stories of her families. They have been talking about her, sharing posts of her, memorializing her, making sure that she is known. Meanwhile, Keith Porter's family, they've been struggling to get into the news cycle. They've been struggling to have any conversation. And the same defense that ICE agents are using to justify killing Good is the same defense that they're using for justifying killing Porter. They say that he had a weapon and that he pointed it at them first, despite the fact that nobody on the scene concurred that, aside from the officer who shot him.
But at the end of the day, this is racist of the week now, isn't it? And there's a reason why I chose this particular platform, because it's not about you guys defending 2A and the toothlessness of all of your rhetoric. It's when you decide to pop up and when you don't.
Well, ICE has murdered another American citizen in Minneapolis. As old Texas Paul, hope your coffee's as good as mine. Hell, I hope it's better. I really do. Please forgive if there's wind noise. Alex Pretty did nothing wrong. He was just filming. Video shows he had a camera in one hand, nothing in the other. He was exercising his right as an American citizen to carry a concealed weapon, but he never touched it. He never touched it. And before they shot him, they took it from him. They murdered him on the ground in the streets of Minneapolis. Now, I've been digesting this all day long and the hopes of coming up with something unique to say. But I can't. It's the same old shit. MAGA is ICE, and MAGA and their Second Amendment shit has always been just that, shit. It's never been about American citizens protecting themselves against a tyrannical government. It's always been about arming white supremacists. That's what it's always been about for MAGA. And you know it because they're out there on social media right now.
From the National Association for Gun Rights, thousands of Americans have gathered across the country to support Second Amendment rights, some openly and some concealed, armed without incident. Hundreds in Virginia just last week. The mere presence of a firearm is not evidence of criminal intent. Anyone who claims to be pro-gun should never suggest otherwise. Gun owners do this peacefully every time a blue state tries to pass gun control. NAGR, they go by Nagger? I don't like that. We're going to go with NAGR. I was rocking with you. You ain't have to. What blue states got to do with this? What blue? Make your point, and keep it pushing. Hey, trying to, you know what I mean? Trying to congratulate them, and then they go, we gotta make sure we throw something in. But NRA, you got Nagger out here staking out the ground that y'all claim to occupy, and where y'all at? Oh, they said something? Here we got one. In response to FA U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley, if you approach law enforcement with a gun, there's a high likelihood they will be legally justified in shooting you. Don't do it. To which, from the NRA, this sentiment from the first assistant U.S. attorney for the Central District of California is dangerous and wrong. Responsible public voices should be awaiting a full investigation, not making generalizations and demonizing law-abiding citizens. Okay, NRA. That's like a baby lamb. That's like a baby lamb step. Okay, they walked it back. For months, radical progressive politicians like Tim Walz have incited violence against law enforcement officers who are simply trying to do their jobs. Unsurprisingly, these calls to dangerously interject oneself into legitimate law enforcement activities have ended in violence, tragically resulting in injuries and fatalities. As there is with any officer-involved shooting, there'll be a robust and comprehensive investigation that takes place to determine if the use of force was justified. As we await these facts and gain a clear understanding, we urge the political voices to lower the temperature to ensure their constituents and law enforcement officers stay safe. Do you think whoever posted that first tweet that adhered to all of their stated virtues got fired? You think they got fired? They will. What are we doing? Standing on business? That's crazy. They talking about a robust investigation after we saw mass resignations in the aftermath of Renee Good because there was no investigation, and Minnesota is having to sue because of evidence that was destroyed in the case of Alex Preddy. They talking about a robust investigation. Then want to take shots at Tim Walz and radical progressive politicians while a man lies dead who did nothing, who is supposed to be one of their constituents. Now you see exactly who they are and where they stand. And there's a reason they got ate up in the comments. I wonder how many times you said shall not be infringed before this administration started infringing. Pathetic statement from a pathetic organization. An NRA accidentally forgets to rise up against tyrannical government. An embarrassed National Rifle Association says it totally forgot to do the one thing it has been saying for years it is solely there to do. And what's that, NRA? All this time you claimed you were here to protect citizens from a tyrannical government when really you were just here to profit off of death. Boot-looking frauds who believe in nothing. Pathetic. Oh, it's way more where that came from. Y'all got ate up. It's okay when they provoke because they are protected by the First Amendment. It's okay when they bring guns to protest because they are protected by the Second Amendment, but it's never okay when the rest of us do those things. Isn't that interesting? I legitimately would be embarrassed for y'all if this wasn't such a serious infraction. Like, if this wasn't so disgraceful, I would be embarrassed for you. So we get to hear from y'all anytime we see any type of mass shooting, preserving the right to bear arms. When we see a legitimate atrocity, we get to hear from the NRA. But in a moment, one of theirs lies dead and is demonized just for being a gun owner, we get attacks at radical politicians, Tim Walz, and let's wait for an investigation we know will never come, headed by Kristi Noem. Sad ain't the word. Gun rights groups and legal experts question Trump administration's stance on the Second Amendment after shooting. Claims by the Trump administration officials that the man fatally shot by a federal agent in Minneapolis lacked a right to possess a firearm and that his killing was justified are being dismissed by legal experts and assailed by gun rights groups ordinarily aligned with the president. The rhetoric from Trump law enforcement officials, including his FBI director and the top Border Patrol agent, goes against the decades-long GOP effort to throttle gun control rules. Well, at least somebody said something. You got the people out here doing the work, you know, using basic logic and reason, while y'all collect all these donations to hide behind whatever Trump wants to do and say. And that is never a safe place to be. We have seen how pick-me works with Trump. Matter of fact, hey, NRA, y'all see about the call he did with Walz? Now all of a sudden they want to de-escalate. Now all of a sudden they want to de-escalate after all of that rhetoric that they had said previously. Meanwhile, y'all showed y'all whole. I asked militiamen who attended Monday's Second Amendment rally armed in Richmond, Virginia, how they felt about the shooting of Alex Preddy yesterday. I've been open carrying at rallies since 2019. There's zero difference between this man carrying his firearm at a protest than me or my boys carrying at a protest. The First and Second Amendments do not stop where politics and opinions differ. Hey, somebody call the NRA. They still hiding? My take on the situation, the ICE shooting that occurred yesterday was not justified in my view. The man who was killed was lawfully carrying, was recording the operation, and was seen helping a woman who had been pushed to the ground. None of those actions justified a lethal response from federal agents. Exercising the right to film law enforcement and the legal right to carry a firearm should not cost someone their life. ICE escalated when they should have de-escalated, and accountability is needed. You know how embarrassing it is when you have individual people coming out and stating the thing that your whole reputation and brand is based around while you hide. You know who really needs to see this is all of those militiamen and all the people out here speaking out. Send this to Nagger. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go what they said about the send this to Nagger. Because we might have a let them fight situation a little while later. Hey, we got a let them fight situation going on right now. Because that's the thing, when it comes to this administration, they will continue to push the bounds of good sense, of true and false, of information and misinformation until you break. It's your...
I was a major in the United States Marine Corps, serving from 2011 to 2021. The Manchester VA system and its nurses helped save my life.
Kristen Cravens Hutton, United States Army, Corporal.
David Hutton, Sergeant First Class, retired Army.
Melissa Corrigan, United States Navy, Petty Officer Second Class. I want to talk about Alex Preddy.
The man shot and killed by federal agents in Minneapolis this morning.
He was a nurse with the United States Department of Veterans Affairs.
Alex took pride in taking care of his veterans.
All of us are gutted by his death.
Whether you knew Alex Preddy or not, every veteran who knows VA nurses should be outraged by his killing.
And that's why we as veterans must speak up.
Because already Trump and his goons are trying to destroy Alex Preddy's reputation with bullshit accusations.
White House aide Stephen Miller is trying to smear Alex Preddy as a domestic terrorist.
I am enraged by the death of Alex Preddy. Let's call it what it is, the unwarranted killing of not just an American we swore to defend,
but of a man who dedicated his life to our care.
A life cut short by authoritarian brutality.
To every veteran,
to every American, don't let Trump and Miller dishonor the life of Alex Preddy and his service to America's veterans.
They took his life. Don't let them take his name.
And shout out to those veterans
Jesus Christ
for calling it what it is.
On Saturday, all of us witnessed from multiple angles federal agents murder Alex Preddy. In the days since, we have had to listen to the ghouls in this administration tell us that what we saw with our own eyes is not what we saw. Telling us not to believe our own lying eyes. Others in this administration have taken this opportunity to say that because Mr. Preddy was legally carrying a firearm, a constitutional right given to him by the United States Constitution, a right that he has as a Minnesotan, that he deserved to die, that was reason enough for him to be executed. Now, I have been a gun owner my entire life. I shoot competitively. I carry on occasion because it is my right as an American and my right as a Mainer. And to watch people in a party that for years has screamed about protecting the Second Amendment, to turn around and say that because this man had a holstered legal firearm, he deserved to be murdered by federal agents, is the height of hypocrisy and the height of unconstitutional behavior. We watched that video, and then we can see agents celebrating the fact that they killed him after they did. I mean, it makes me emotional. It also makes me incredibly angry. This is an ICU nurse at the VA who has dedicated his life to helping veterans and helping his community, and then he is killed, protecting his neighbors, protecting people in his community. Murdered, shot down by the state, executed in the street.
So
this makes me shake with rage. I'm not shaking because it's cold. I'm shaking because I'm angry. And you should be too.
This Minneapolis resident just said what everyone should be feeling right now.
I've lived here for some time, just up the road for a period of time. How would you describe just the way as a Minneapolis resident that you're feeling right now?
Can I describe it not as a Minneapolis resident, but as an American citizen? Thank you. This started as a pretext about immigration and the fraud, whatever. It's well beyond that now. It's into your Second Amendment. It's into your Fourth Amendment. It's into your Sixth Amendment. This is so far beyond what people at home probably are watching going, oh, it's Minneapolis, it's woke Hoth, it doesn't affect me, whatever. It does. It's you. It's you as well now. Wake up. Please watch what's happening here. I feel like we're performing CPR on what may already be a corpse called the Constitution. And yeah, there's plenty of people online laughing at us and going, haha, tryhards. But I think it's worth it, and I hope you do too.
Well, you were saying to me earlier that you were HOA president for a while.
Yeah, I'm the Square community, man. I like built real estate document search portal sites for Wells Fargo. I am the Square community. Like, yeah.
But you were HOA president, Frank and Nick. So this community to happen here, for this to happen here at this intersection on Nicollet in East Street, how do you begin to explain the significance of it happening here today?
I assume it's Kristi Noem's provocation. She saw how much this city hates her clowns, hates her scarecrows, and said, you know, we'll double down. We'll put the boot a little bit harder on the throat.
How long will you stay out here?
Till my balls get cold. Just till it gets too cold. Probably all day, I think, yeah.
That's right. It's about all of us, coming together. The kind of mutual affection, love, and care, which we had seen in Minneapolis prior to all of this, which I hypothesize might have been the actual inciting incident. The fact that they were coming together. And not to be forgotten in the midst of all of this is just how massive that nonviolent protest was before Alex Peretti lost his life. And that is how we will go out. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and especially thank you for all your fantastic.
This is happening in our city.
Give a pastor a podium. Amen. And even a.
I'm not gonna lie. At city council, I went and said that our mayor, previous mayor, a long time ago, wanted to Webb during the parade said we should march our asses up to the state capitol and stand with the protesters of ICE because they shot that white lady. And at city council on Monday, I said I advise that we do not, because white women are agitating the situation. And I advise we do not do that, right? And this is the type of shit I'm talking about. This is the type of shit that fucking irritates the fuck out of me. And we didn't get a chance to fucking speak to them. This is a New Faith Alliance or whatever. The Black Church, basically, of Denver. Must come out and speak on some shit they got no goddamn business speaking on. Here we go.
Street can be a sanctuary.
Oh, God. We're not going to allow it. I said Americans, we're not going to allow it.
This message,
we're not going to allow it,
was directed at immigration enforcement officials.
Which is why we're standing in front of this detention center right here. Yes, we stand in solidarity in calling for the withdrawal of all ICE agents in Minnesota and everywhere they've been deployed.
Members of the Greater Metro Denver Ministerial Alliance called out what they say were unnecessary uses of force by federal officers.
That murdered Renee Good, Alex Jeffrey Creddy, and Keith Porter, who is often forgotten, of Los Angeles, California.
They're demanding reform, justice, and accountability.
So we felt that it was time for us to take a stand, and several came up with the idea altogether.
Dr. Odie Kennedy is the Alliance president. She says she stands for all oppressed people, but Alex Peretti struck more of an emotional chord for her.
The young man that was shot down was a nurse. I attest to that because I was a nurse for 56 years, and I understand the dignity, the action of nursing. No matter where you are, your first response is to protect.
The Alliance was joined by Temple Emmanuel rabbis.
Violence against the innocent is never acceptable.
Never.
And justice for Black Coloradans representatives.
We demand dignity, and we demand an end to the profit.
What is wrong with you motherfuckers right there? Justice, man, come on, for Black. What in the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what? This is
Than incarceration of our brothers and sisters.
Together, they hope this sermon reaches those beyond this street.
We have a republic if we can keep
it. Amen. The Alliance also plans to host a community vigil Friday. That'll be at 6 p.m. at the Absolute Word Church. The Alliance says all are welcome. Janelle.
You don't want us to come there. This is
Colorado's Democratic delegation said today that Alex Peretti was, quote, murdered by our own government. Colorado Senators John Hickenlooper and Michael Bennet, along with Congress members Brittany Pedersen, Jason Crow, and Diana DeGette, held a virtual press conference today about Peretti's death and what they call the lawless actions of ICE. Lawmakers plan to fight back by voting against the government funding package that includes $64 billion for the Department of Homeland Security and $10 billion for ICE. I pressed lawmakers today on the merits of another possible government shutdown.
Not voting for DHS and ICE funding would result in a partial government shutdown in which DHS and ICE would still be allowed to operate. Explain to voters why that's the right move, especially voters that could be impacted by another shutdown after the last one didn't did not result in Democrats getting the ACA tax credits that they were fighting for.
I think all of us need to send a message here that we're not going to be complicit in Donald Trump and Kristi Noem's marauding against the American people and the lawlessness of his agency. And frankly, the fact that he has basically turned his own his own army against the citizens of the United States of America.
If this is simple and straightforward, we offer the Republicans and the White House a remarkable opportunity to de-escalate.
That's what I'm saying.
Democratic lawmakers are calling for the resignation of DHS Secretary Kristi Noem and for reforms to ICE, like banning agents from wearing masks, requiring warrants to enter homes, and limitations on deploying Border Patrol.
Hundreds of people rallying at the steps of the state capitol tonight, standing in solidarity with Minneapolis. Protesters calling for accountability after that man was killed by federal agents over the weekend. Thank you for watching Number 7 News at 10 tonight. I'm Shannon Ogden. 37-year-old Alex Preddy was killed by a U.S. Border Patrol officer on Saturday. And the shooting comes after the death of Renee Good, killed January 7th in Minneapolis by an Immigration and Customs Enforcement officer. Number 7's Maggie Bryan reports on this community's call for action.
While taking to the streets,
no justice, no peace.
Protesters in downtown Denver say if they don't speak up, who will?
What's been going on is wrong, and we all know it.
For the third day in a row, demonstrators have gathered to demand accountability from the federal government after a Border Patrol agent shot and killed 37-year-old Alex Preddy in Minneapolis on Saturday.
Justice for Alex!
Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem has doubled down on her defense of the federal agents, saying they shot Preddy in self-defense.
Protesters are now marching down Lincoln Street here. They've blocked off this street entirely. They started all the way at the state capitol.
Protesters, including Sam, who's a U.S. veteran, and his son.
Look at him. You ready to chant again?
He says he's here with friends because he does not believe some of the tactics ICE and Border Patrol agents have been using are acceptable.
They need to treat the people better,
even
if they're illegal. I mean, I pay taxes. If I don't believe in what they're doing, I think we, the people, should speak up and say something.
Several nurses joined in on this protest, saying Preddy's death hit them especially hard. Preddy was an ICU nurse at a VA hospital in Minneapolis.
It's just awful what happened to him. I think we need to prosecute the people that murdered in cold blood, execution style, Alex Preddy in Minnesota.
These protests come as President Donald Trump says Minnesota Governor Tim Walz called him with a request to work together with respect to Minnesota. In a post on Truth Social on Monday, the president said the two seem to be on a similar wavelength.
No justice, no peace.
Sam says he believes change will come if people continue to show up and speak out.
If we, the people, don't come out and say something and do something, who will?
In Denver, I'm Maggie Bryan, Number 7.
Just keep that up.
Let's go! Long leg for short leg. I'm standing.
We'll come back to that. All right, now we're gonna go to this right here. Hold on a second. Goddamn thing got in my face. Hold on a second. 1 second.
If you've been posting on your IG,
Talk about it.
I'll put that up. I ain't had no shame in my game, and I stood on my business. But I can tell you, after me, it's a lesson learned for other Panthers not to just be so open about how they feel on the record. These are facts. I'm not capping. Everybody can look any of this shit, man, on the results of my case. What's up? Oh, my bad, bro. Yeah, so after y'all seen how they used that's my child, right? They used the post that I made 16 days prior to the event that happened that put me in prison. I don't even want to go into it, but I made a post 16 days before the shooting. I had no idea that's going to happen that day, bro. And I went to work, went to see my chick, we baked the cake up on my house and all type of stuff. I was just chilling. Anybody who know my case know that.
Did he not get the memo?
They sent somebody at me and I stood on my business because I meant what I say when I say I'm preserving my life at all costs. by any means. You feel me? But one thing about it, I didn't force the play. You feel me? I didn't go out there and invite myself to that party. I didn't go out there calling out, oh, I'm gonna do this to you, and I'm chasing around officers trying to look for a situation in sight. I wasn't on that. But I know what would happen if it showed up at my doorstep. I know that. You feel me? Because don't nobody want to live for me more than me. So the party already know that that's a lesson learned. Not to mention the COINTELPRO, not to mention all the other shit and all the other reasonings why people don't come out talking crazy, jumping out of left field like Paul did. Unsanctioned. Man, you know how many people I know in the movement, bro? When I seen that shit by him, I went to make a phone call, man, who this is? Who fool is in Philly talking like this? What bro got going on? Y'all know him? Who gave him a stamp? Who stamped him? What's the play on this? Y'all crazy to think jump on that line to find out what I did. And ain't nobody I knew stepped with, been in the field with, armed up with. Ain't nobody I knew him.
Peace and blessings, all praises due to the Most High. And that is the brother Otho Wallace speaking about this quote unquote Black Panther Philly chapter chairman, Paul Birdsong, who in my opinion came out of nowhere. A lot of people have been talking about him. I have been, kind of staying away because I really don't know him or his authenticity. But when I seen my brother Otho Wallace speak on it, I decided to share his life. Now, if you don't know who Otho Wallace is, Otho Wallace was convicted in October of 2023 for manslaughter with the firearm for killing the officer Jason Rayner. We shared that video and we shared that story on this channel several times, and he was given a maximum 30 years. He was only supposed to be like 5 or 10 years, but they added a firearm. So Otho Wallace, I did the research on him. I talked to my brother. I talked to people who know him. He was really out there, in the movement, whether it was with the NFAC or the Panthers. He has pictures, in the formations and all the, the national things. So he, is stamped, I guess I would say, as far as, this organization or being a revolutionary, because once again, as you'll hear, I'm going to play some more of that live, he's actually doing time for killing an officer whom he felt that was sent at him for being vocal and outspoken, in the pursuit of Black people's rights. Nevertheless, this guy, Paul Birdsong, has evidently, because of the backlash, he has renounced, I guess, his title or his affiliation with the Black Panther Party. And I'm going to play this video that he did, I think, recently. Then I'm going to be back with some more commentary. Just watch.
All power to the people. As everyone knows, I'm Paul Birdsong. I got a message from Aaron Dixon today saying that he no longer supports us. That after he gave me orders to make a video saying that him and other members were coming, that he withdrew his support. He said that this situation is unimportant to him, even though my comrades have risked their lives and spent thousands of hours of their time and dollars in life standing behind a cause. He said he's going to make a statement saying no one has the right to call himself a Black Panther going forward. I told him to make sure that he put in that statement that he did, in fact, give us the right to call ourselves that, because I still have the messages where he did, just in case he doesn't. And I put in there also, make sure that you put in there that Emory Douglas did give us the right to wear that emblem, because I still have the messages where that happened too. But as it stands, because of that, because of me and my comrades risking our lives and all the heat that we went under, because of the counter-revolutionary practices, because we don't believe in Black nationalism, like Bobby Seale said in the video that I shared on my page earlier, the Black nationalism is acquiesce to racism, and that we don't stand like that. That we're internationalists and intercommunalists, just like Huey Newton said. We will no longer identify with this flag. We will no longer identify ourselves as the Black Panther Party for self-defense. We're going to take OG from the town's advice We're going to take the name that he decided to put out there. We're going to call ourselves the Black Lion Party for International Solidarity. Reason for the international solidarity is because we will stand with the immigrants. We will stand with the people being terrorized for ICE. We will stand with any oppressed people across the world.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop it right there. So evidently, you know, that is Paul Birdsong, who just came out of nowhere, from my understanding, really, I guess, dissing the Black Panther flag. He said that, you know, Aaron Dixon, I think he's the head of a chapter somewhere, told him not to, you know, call him, you know, a part of the Black Panthers. Now, there's been some other controversy, in my opinion, with the whole Black Panther Party, new Black Panther Party situation. Somebody, you know, I did a program about the new Black Panther Party, and some brothers called me and said, well, no, they're not affiliated with the Black Panther Party, you know, the original Black Panther Party. And, you know, I know somebody who knows Chairman Fred. And if you don't know who Chairman Fred is the son of Fred Hampton Jr., who was the chairman of the Chicago chapter that was murdered by the police. So, you know, I've been getting a little conflicting stories about the new Black Panther Party, the Black Panther Party, the Huey P. Newton Gun Club. You know, there's a lot of offshoots, I would say. But let me say, all of the brothers and sisters I've met from each organization have never shown me anything sideways. So let me say that. But this guy, I think, you know, a lot of people is coming at him because he, you know, is doing things that are not in line with, you know, the ideology of some people think, as well as Otha Wallace, you're going to hear, as the Black Panther Party. So I don't know who this guy is. Somebody said he's an ex-gang member. We've never heard him today, but I think they showed a picture with him signing the treaty with ICE or whatever the case may be. It's a lot of pomp and circumstance, and a lot of people are calling him out, including, once again, my brother.
At the height of what was going on that was shifting the narrative, I got caught up, and it took the attention of the nation to help me get through this shit, bro. It took a nation of people, bro. Some people I knew, some people I didn't know, to throw together something to help me fight that case, bro. I'm not gonna act like I had all this money, bro. I didn't have no $250,000 to give no team of lawyers to get through no death penalty case, man. I didn't have that. Why does that matter? Because they charged me with first-degree murder, premeditated first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer for saying something 16 days before this shit happened, and I had no idea it was gonna happen. They was coupling that with what happened that night, and they used it to push a narrative on me in my case. Made my shit hard to beat, bro. I'm in trial. Oh, what about when you said one day you take great pride and honor in getting pig's blood on your hands and your hands and boots? What did you mean by that, Mr. Wallace? What did you mean when you said that? Them read that shit in trial. Right? So while you over there up in Philly, wherever you at, catching you a video talking about if an ICE agent shot at you, you gonna put a hole in their chest the size of a window, but you got your 12 gauge and you ready to do what you gonna do. That gotta be one of the dumbest moves you can make as if you was a Black Panther, a real solid bona fide Black Panther. If you was, but that would be a very stupid move to make after you watch what happened with me. See, one thing about my situation, bro, I don't mind using it as a testimony to talk, to explain to other people why you don't do that type of shit. When I stepped in the movement, I probably was 26 years old. I was youngest, bro. I ain't give a. I was just mad that they was killing us, bro. I was mad as that it wasn't nobody. It didn't seem like it was nobody at the time standing up. So when first chance I got, yeah, you damn right, I joined NFAC militia, biggest black militia ever to hit this country. I took my mother's rifles, pistol, vest, all my shit. I took my shit to Georgia and marched with them boys. Stood in formation. You damn right. Because I wanted to be in the number of people that say I'm rocking behind my people, bro. Ain't shit changed. I'm still old. I'm just dealing with my shit right now. So to think I ain't gonna stand on business when I see something like that, you got to be crazy, man. You think all the money, all the motherfucking hours on the road, all the networking, all the connections, all the hours of listening to speeches and shit that was at the time to me kind of boring, but I still had to do it because my heart gonna be in this shit. This is what I got to do. You think I did that shit for a piggyback on what I stood on and help build for you to run off with the energy? That's crazy. You talking about a money grab? This shit is not that. I'm doing 30 years for you to be able to do what you doing. You ain't paying homage. You ain't paid away. You ain't been on the scene. You don't know nobody I know. You tripping. Come on, bro. Bro, I stood in trial 16 days. 16 days, the death penalty on the line. You talking about, you the chairman? Who the f*** am I then, bro? Who the f*** am I? When you talking about black revolutionary shit going on in this generation, I'm the epitome of that, man. You can't say I ain't, can't nobody in this country say I ain't that. You can't find one person to say, damn, you ain't gonna find it. Through and through, bro. I'm solid through and through. And I ain't finna spend all my time on here trying to prove that, because you could Google that. You could Google the Southern Poverty Law Center. They got us NFAC on there. You can Google the Anti-Defamation League. They got a whole spread on just me. What you talking about, bro? I'm paying a price. You feel me? But you out here, you got all these videos out here. Let me explain something to y'all, right? Because when I seen that shit, I said, whoa, something ain't right. Let me tell y'all something just wasn't right. When I seen this video and you standing out there and you ready to shoot the ICE agent and put a hole in them in the window and safe flight repair, safe flight replace, and all this type of shit, I say to myself, God, dog, what? What the people I know? Nah. Yeah, okay, maybe it's some new generation shit. Maybe I've been gone 5 years. Maybe there's something I missed. Because I tap in. I'm talking about, I tap in with my people, my community, my organization. I tap in, bro. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Come on, man. I tap in. I get other people to tap in for me when I can't. Yeah, like, so when I see this shit, I say, damn. Okay, so I go find his Instagram page. I say, all right, I'm gonna just do some light research on food just to find out before I make an opinion on him, because maybe it's something there that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I know everybody in every chapter in the party. I know major people, but I know a lot of people too. I like a lot of people. Excuse me. So I go do my research. Man, tighten up. So I go to his IG page, right? I say, well, down, let me go scroll and see how long he been on doing this work. I go to his IG page. I look on Chairman Paul Bird. So I go to his IG page. I look at the post. The first post start in 2025. I say, damn, that's a red flag, man. You ain't got nothing on there but all this revolutionary stuff, right? Which is no problem, because you got a lot of brothers and sisters that's true to the movement. The only thing they post is revolutionary stuff, Black Panther business, information, and so forth. But what's throwing me about this whole thing is if you've been posting on your IG a whole year, where your kids at? Where's the picture of you and your old girl? Like, where's the video of you on a night with your friends? Like, where's the video of you playing catch with your son out in the front yard? Like, where's the video of you jogging down the street because you started working out again? Like, where's all of these personal living my life videos? Like, where's the video of you getting off work and and shit like that. When you talk about real people that use social media and just like kind of like just organically building themselves up, you gonna see a lot of regular shit. You ain't gonna just see what they trying to straight up what they trying to promote only and what they trying to promote. That's not what you're gonna see. You're gonna see them having regular real life moments with their family in their household amongst themselves outside of his capacity as a so-called Panther chairman. You're gonna see a whole lot of shit outside of that capacity though. You feel me? So it's already a red flag when I see that you just that's all you got posted. And then like this is another thing, bro. Mind you, now shout out to all my let me y'all know where I'm at. Let me go ahead and put it out there like this. I ain't got nothing against gang members, bro. Let me say this one more time. I coexist with gang members where I'm at, bro. I have nothing against them. Absolutely nothing. I give them boys respect, as long as they righteous, as long as they moving proper. I respect them boys, and they give me respect, and it's mutual. But what I'm gonna say is, for him to push this narrative that I'm an ex-gang member, and then I get on a private call with you to find out that you and Rico, whoever this brother is, claiming to be Hugh P. Newton's son, talking about he stamped you. That shit fool as fuck anyway. But y'all, this shit bother me. You and him.
All right, so we're gonna stop it right there because the brother goes in for a long time. I might play some of the rest of the video at another instance, but you know, as the brother was saying, you know, it seems like this brother Paul Birdsong has came out of nowhere. With no ties to anybody that people in the movement know. I've seen, you know, people like Sister Crystal Muhammad and, you know, other people speak out who, you know, I spoke to personally with their roles in the movement. Like I said, I spoke to Brother O. I spoke to, you know, Chairman Fred's people, who is the chairman down there, I think in Louisiana. And so there's a lot of individuals who are doing this work, this movement, who are not in front of the cameras yelling about what they're going to do and, you know, putting on a front for cameras. Like people are really, you know, doing work where there's no fanfare and where there's no publicity. So it seems, once again, I'm not saying whether this guy's authentic or not because I haven't done the research, but I respect my brother O's opinion because, you know, I know that he, you know, traveled and, you know, you've seen the videos I've done of him and you've seen the videos of our conversations. So, you know, I can kind of respect, you know, his role. He's been, you know, once again, targeted.
That's how I learned about Afro Elite when he brought up Ozone on TBA and they were talking about him in his case a few years back before he went into prison. So when he was just going through the trial and whatnot, and they were raising money for his defense, that's how I learned about Afro Elite and Ozone at the same time. I learned about Ozone through Michi X. I know that's kind of crazy, but that's how I learned about him. And his, you know, it was making its way around the media, you know. So yeah, I'm glad that he went and did that. That only adds more emphasis on what we've been talking about, you know what I mean? So now onto some other shit. We got 2 more, I believe. Let's get to this.
Let's go! Long leg versus short leg. I'm standing this fight. We
Coming
stand
out of the blue corner, Jason.
Oh my God, he looks so fucking
Love.
What's he walking out to?
Are they the same weight class?
Yeah. We stand. Rampage, we standing up this one. Let's stand. Oh, you walking out to that Tory. Free Tory. Free Tory. Free 6ix9ine in chat.
That's that.
Free Tory.
That's that Aiden Ross did. Glasses Malone basically said he's gonna stop talking shit about Doja, and anybody surrounding him is gonna get pressed. The one who's talking is Aiden Ross. Also looking at a RICO case with Drake.
Yeah.
Jason Love is like some sort of foreign black dude. His little accent. It's like a Latino black or black Latino.
He's supposed to be black. Y'all ain't getting money. Stop this. I love you, Tori. Yeah. I come on. Shit. Okay.
Now, I ain't gonna sit here and act like I wasn't watching it live. What a disgrace. You know what I'm talking about? It's like, at this point, Adam, yeah, bro, you gotta let it go.
So roll with. You don't know the words. Yeah. But that's what I'm talking about, bro. That's the old man with a big dick. He can't fight. He got a pump it.
He said he's the old man with a big dick. Yeah, okay.
Hold on, who we betting on?
The man that got slam.
The man that got something to lose.
Who y'all slam, chat?
The man that got something to lose.
I got Jason too.
Who we slamming, chat? I got Adam. Let's go. I got Adam too.
Hey, 10. You got a 10. You got a dime on Adam?
No, I ain't betting you.
He said a man that got something to lose. He already smashed his girl. So what's left? His dignity? I guess he took that too, bro.
Hey, I got Adam. Hey, W, Adam, W, Jason.
I ain't betting on no pig in a blanket versus a link. Tell him, come on, I'm ready.
He's watching out the Gucci gang.
Oh, hell. Fucking him out.
I like that, though.
Nigga, whack everywhere.
Whack 120 and shit, bro. Whack.
Hey, better win. Bro, was Jason bald yesterday? No, I thought he had a cut yesterday.
He was bald yesterday. He was
not bald, gang.
Wait, really?
He was not bald. That nigga
Look at Vlad.
That's why he was wearing a black hat.
Vlad in the back.
Wait, is that Ronnie J? Watch out. Watch out.
Me and my girl take meds. Ooh, none of this shit be new to me.
That's DJ Black right there.
You see Vlad back there act like he was vibing? That is some shit he a vibe too.
Okay. You gotta spot that.
I ran for the kids for the project.
Oh, you did? All right.
I don't know who this person is. Look at them all weak and shit. Get full of stuff.
Little boy so that man, yo.
What up, baby?
Gucci gang.
The biggest power rooms in the building.
Put the headphones on. He's not. Whack up, Pyro.
Ladies and gentlemen, and all the fans in attendance and the thousands watching worldwide, this is the wearing the white trunk with the black.
I think that's his Adam 22's old lady.
Hey, Lena be out there strutting her stuff for Jason, bro. He don't even be tripping off over it on
Right.
this cold part about it.
Who? Whack 100. You pay for the trip.
And in the red corner, wearing the black trunks.
You ain't
Adam 22.
Let's go. 22 stars.
He good at slanging. He can't slang. All right, here we go.
And let me tell you why.
You got Jason.
I'm gonna tell you why.
The BBC.
If a nigga make a bitch eyes roll in the back of her head, he gonna fuck you up.
He was doing it flat.
I watched the video.
He was doing
Wait, you watched it?
Ain't no fight back. Let's go, Adam.
Let's go, Adam.
It's going down.
Let's go.
I got this video. Listen, let you know right now.
Look at the ref trying to prep Jason though. Jason looked like he on a tear. You know what I'm saying? Like he can't wait to get his hands on Adam, bro.
You know we got our back.
Go, Todd.
Oh, shit.
Never let a man fuck your bitch.
Never let a man fuck your bitch.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
Never.
No.
No way.
Wait. No.
What?
Everything going on.
Oh, my God.
No.
Oh, your eyes. Jesus Christ.
He practices star must not take a punch.
Bro, Adam, what is
You
What's going down? This is all part of the plan.
This all part of the plan. You hear what, bro? So what you do all that training for, Adam? This shit ain't cool, bro.
Do it. Black set him up. Black, you set him up.
No, I didn't.
You didn't get him good training. You set him up. Hit him. Yo, what the fuck? Bitch, I fucked you up. You set him up. I gave him back shots and I fucked you up. Yes.
Come on, Adam. Walk this way.
So just imagine what 4 Extra would have did to me, bro. Would have destroyed Adam. You know what I'm talking about? It's this shit.
Let's go. It was at this moment.
Check yourself. Hey, listen, bro. Check this out. Check this out. This all part of the plan, bro.
Adam, oh my God.
Got him switch back. This is all the setup. This is all the setup.
And I fucked you up. I fucked you. And I fucked you up.
And it, what happened?
You hear Wack talking about some what happened? I'm gonna tell you what happened, Wack. Adam just took a knee voluntarily. He could have kept going, bro.
What happened? I told y'all. Yo, he ain't never took a punch before in his life. He ain't never took a punch in his life. Turn his back. Come on, Adam. Hey, Rampage, I'm so glad that Adam 22 canceled the fucking training. Fuck around with you, Adam 22. The nigga fucked your wife, nigga. He fucked your wife and then fucked you up in a boxing ring. Turn your back on him.
See, that's the difference, though, bro, between Caucasians, bro. His girl probably ain't even gonna be tripping. They ain't gonna look at him no less of a man, bro. If it was somebody else, they would have been like, this, I'm leaving with Jason.
Come on.
Charleston White.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee stops the contest
Got a
at
mustache,
112 of the very first round, and the winner out of the red corner, Jason Love.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. All right, y'all, hold up. Yep, y'all brothers stand by me. You stand by me, face this way. Okay, well, that was quick as fuck. What the fuck you got to say?
No wonder, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That was damn near like Jason Love was in there with a white girl, bro. For real, it damn near was.
About yourself, cause that wasn't shit.
No, for real. I thought it was gonna be a lot more even. Turns out he was the better man. He's just as strong as he looks. So, did what I could do in 2 weeks, but ultimately I think I gotta cut some weight. I don't think I need to be fighting a Ronnie Coleman looking ass motherfucker like him again.
Okay, how the fuck you?
Don't he say motherfucker like a racist, bro?
Mhm.
They just sound cool, clannish, bro.
Be an action figure, man.
I mean, it was too short, but I did what my camp told me to do and just went at it.
So is y'all bet still stand? He get your wife if he want after the fight.
You made that up. Hey, shout out to my queen, Lena the Plug. She inspired all this.
You want to come in here, Love? Come rub on your man, because we don't know what's going on. Oh, shit.
Lena, I have a question for you, Lena. She coming and busted wide open, arch extra hard in his arms towards Jason. Hell no, bro.
Are you proud of Adam?
I'm very proud of him. Really hard, and he's still a winner because he's got me.
Jason.
Nobody want that
You
rant
just
for
fought on
shit.
brand risk. They were saying that your health wasn't that good, but it's majorly good. Do you want to fight anybody else on brand risk next? Who you want?
I turned around and
Whoever
said,
you
I want to
send,
fight you for saying
Johnny
the N
Sins,
word.
whoever you send, it doesn't matter. Work is work. I love it. Adam.
I got one for him. I want my.
This nigga ate it talking about some Johnny Sins. He said whoever you sent, and did you hurt him with the fight? He said it was a little too short, but I take that. He talk like an old Western country motherfucker, bro.
Boy, Blueface to get my back fade.
Blueface. Whack 100. Can we get Blueface in the ring?
Famous Crip ain't turning down shit.
Let's do it right now. If you guys want Blueface.
Like I don't like this shit. Give me them gloves.
I only got one question. Yo, Lena, was this nigga better in the ring or better in bed? Word 2.
Better in bed.
Jason, you a real nigga, man. You held it down, man. We killed racism tonight, gang.
Yo, chat. I love
shit, bro. This was crucial.
He killed shit except
this
fucking
was
reputation.
humiliation ritual, Adam. What the fuck is this? What's going on, bro? This shit was hard to watch. I knew it was off his button, but it's confirmed now, and you're popping it.
All right, what more we done?
Will go overlooked from now on. You know.
Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar there attacked while speaking at a town hall event in Minneapolis Tuesday night. In the video, seconds after Omar calls on DHS Secretary Kristi Noem to resign, a man approaches her, sprays an unknown liquid on her with a syringe.
Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment. I don't know.
CNN's Sarah Seidner was at that town hall. She saw all this happen. Sarah, what did it look like from your perspective?
Look, there was a lot of fear initially. People couldn't figure out what happened. He was towards the very front of all of the rows of people who had come to the town hall, which, by the way, she has monthly. We are in North Minneapolis. She had it at the Urban League. And he jumped up and came towards her. It's interesting to note, as he went around the side, he had what looked like a syringe in his hand, some sort of liquid he sprayed out of it, and you could immediately smell it. It smelled kind of like vinegar, a vinegary substance. We still don't know exactly what was in that syringe. An investigation we now know is underway. But after he did that, Ilhan Omar herself, the congresswoman, went for him. She cocked her arm back, and it looked like she was going to lunge toward him. But before she had a chance to do that, her own security detail jumping on him, taking him to the ground, eventually wrestling his arms behind his back and taking him out of the vicinity so that he could be brought in by police. Ilhan Omar herself looked over. They were telling her security detail. I watched them talking to her, saying, we need you to stop. We are concerned about what this is. We don't want you to continue. She says, no, I'm going to continue. I will not let anyone intimidate me. And she stood in front of the crowd that was still there, who clapped for her as she continued talking about the situation here when it comes to immigration. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of concern and there was fear among her staff about whether or not she was going to be okay. Alex?
Well, and then right after that, she spoke exclusively with you, Sarah. What'd she say?
Yeah, I just happened to pull my cell phone out after our photographer, Jerry Simonson, was focused on the person who was wrestled to the ground and being taken out. And I asked her if she was okay, and here's how she responded. Representative Omar, are you okay?
You know, I'm gonna go figure if I am, but I feel okay. I feel that it is important for people, whether they are in elected office or not, to allow these people to intimidate us, to make us not fight for our constituents and for the country we love. And as I said, you know, I've survived war, and I'm definitely going to survive intimidation and whatever these people think they can throw at me, because I'm built that way.
Thank you. I'm built that way. Her last words there as she went to the back, where she eventually began getting checked by medical staff. But yeah, this was a moment that did freak everyone out in the room, considering that just like many other members of Congress, Ilhan Omar has gotten threats. She's gotten death threats. But her staff tells me this is the first time that she's ever faced any kind of attack inside her own town halls, which she has regularly, like I said, once a month here. And we are standing here in North Minneapolis, where her constituents came to listen to what she had to say. And she was very pointed about what she feels is going on in her own community, and very clear that she wants ICE out. She wants Kristi Noem out, and she wants ICE to leave this community, because she says it is just breaking her community apart.
There were some Republicans who were quick to condemn the attack. Mike Lawler called it unacceptable. Mark Alford said while he disagrees with Omar, quote, these disagreements should never result in assault. And Nancy Mace says she was deeply disturbed. One Republican who did not seem worried about it, President Trump. Speaking to ABC News, he suggested without evidence that the attack was somehow staged, saying, quote, I think she's a fraud. I really don't think about that. She probably had herself sprayed, knowing her. The same president who just hours before had said this about Minneapolis.
We have Tom Homan there now. We put him in there. He's great. And they met with the governor, the mayor, everybody else, and we're going to de-escalate a little bit.
Joining me now in the group chat, Zach Wolf, CNN senior politics writer, Kristen Soltis Anderson, CNN political commentator and Republican pollster, and Antoine Seawright, Democratic strategist. Antoine, can I actually start with you? I don't know if you heard in your group chats or people in Democratic circles started talking about this last night.
Well, I did. America's not like this because Donald Trump is the president. Donald Trump is the president because America's like this. And believe it or not, there's some sick, deranged people out there who are celebrating online when members of Congress are attacked, when they're threatened, particularly visible figures like Ilhan Omar, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and others. And I think that we as Americans have to step back, but I also think leaders starting at the presidency level should always condemn these type things, because it cannot be good for them and not good for me. When the president was under attack, Americans came together to condemn it, and so the president has to tone down the rhetoric, because we've seen January 6th is a direct result. When his language goes out, people respond to it.
Yes, although I think the argument was the attack on him and Butler was the result of rhetoric against him, how people had talked about him. Hold on, I want to play for you something, because Trump has, of course, dismissed the attack on Omar. She's a long time sort of what's the word? Villain, social media villain on the right. Here is what he had to say yesterday, and then I'm also going to take you back to 2019.
They have to show that they can love our country. They have to be proud. Not like Ilhan Omar. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage.
Omar has a history of launching vicious anti-Semitic screeds.
I feel like usually on a panel there's someone who says people love Trump for his punchy language, and are people, I think, is the public starting maybe a bit to sour as they see attack after attack and these sort of incidents on lawmakers?
I mean, I think in some ways it's a numbness rather than a cheering for it or a souring on
You know
it.
what they
It's just
did?
a, like, this is
And
just
the media
the
is
toxic
complicit too.
in which we live now. I think it's horrible. I'm glad that some Republicans came out and condemned it. I wish all of them would. Just like I thought it was reprehensible that the internet fever swamps had cooked up that there was some conspiracy theory when Donald Trump was shot in Butler. I think it's terrible that fever swamps and the president are cooking up conspiracy theories around this. I hope this man is investigated. I hope they throw the book at him, because when we have a culture where people who run for public office and are in the public eye are under threats of violence, and this again did start with Trump.
But isn't that a moment precisely when Trump should not say something like, hey, she probably faked it? I mean, it's been hours, like not even.
100%.
Okay, this brings me to the other thing, who they can feel like they can speak ill about and the limits of that. They came up against a hard limit with Alex Preddy, right? Calling him a domestic terrorist after he died at the hands of ICE. Here is the president on Tuesday. You're going to hear a very different tone than what we heard from the administration over the weekend.
Do you agree with the assessment from some of your own officials that Alex Preddy is a domestic terrorist or an assassin?
Well, I haven't heard that, but certainly he shouldn't have been carrying a gun. But hey, look, bottom line, everybody in this room, we view that as a very unfortunate incident, okay?
Right.
Everyone, unless you're a stupid person.
I mean, I think there are a lot of people who would like to see fewer people carry guns in the country. A lot of them are not Republican voters.
I think that's it, family. All right. Okay. Well, thank you for watching the Revolutionary Agenda. 1 second. Good. I kept it just the way I said I was going to keep it. Thank you for watching the Revolutionary Agenda. I'll probably do one a little longer, maybe a little later. Depends on how busy we get today, which we're probably going to be really busy. We got some stuff that we got to do later on in the afternoon, and we'll see. Most likely, I'm going to try my best. Thank you again. We're probably going to be filming something a little later on in the afternoon. So I'll probably be with him. There's has been hanging out with him for days on end. So we'll see. I want to thank you all for stopping by. I want to thank Ray, Mac, Twin, for holding me down. That's great. I also want to just say that I had fun. I hope you learned. We learned a little something. And I'll see you guys probably later on tonight, or for Grand Rising, or Shabak and the Chase, or whatever. Frontline Black News on Saturday. So just thank you and appreciate you. Stay black, stay dangerous, stay favored, stay out the way. And you have a good day. It's beautiful out. Enjoy your day.